Welcome to Alpha Wolf Capital. I'm Tim, and I want to personally thank you for stopping by. This channel is designed to help small companies, both public and private, gain exposure with potential consumers, investors, even partners. Take, for example, today's guest, CEO Dennis Calvert of Biolargo. Biolargo is the epitome of what I would consider to be an impact stock. They have several shots on goal that could be $1 billion plus opportunities. One is the forever chemicals that are in our water supply that need to be removed. The other is Clera, which is for surgical rooms and stopping infections. And then there is the one we're going to be highlighting today, which is Biolargo Energy and their new innovative battery. But I'm going to let Dennis tell you more about the benefits of their battery in just a moment. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I recommend highly that before buying any security, you speak to a financial advisor and do your own due diligence. Hey everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Capital coming at you with a very exciting story that I think is not people aren't paying close enough attention to, and that's why Dennis and I are here on a Saturday to to share some of this exciting news. And this is just one of the divisions of Biolargo. They have a lot of exciting stuff going on in a lot of different divisions, but this one really grabbed my attention this week, and it's the battery division for Biolargo. Dennis, thanks for coming in on a Saturday, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate the brain cells. But I always love talking about the company. It's a pretty exciting time.
Yeah, we Dennis and I we've been talking before we hopped on, and we kind of figured out we might be here all day if we
No,
don't
no, I'm
record
gonna
this
keep it
thing.
short. I
So
promise I won't overload everybody. Anyway.
let do us a favor, Dennis. Give us a little bit of backstory on the technology itself, how you
Yeah.
came across it, because I think it's an
A
interesting,
great story, yeah.
yeah.
I'm happy to do it, yeah. And so I'll just do a couple of slides, and then we'll introduce the battery tech, right?
All right, perfect.
Right. So yeah, the company remembers 18 years. I mean, we've been innovating, right? We call it the innovation engine. And so there's I always say there's these pillars, right? There's people that are extraordinarily talented, PhDs and engineers, a lot of science and engineering, and then purpose, high impact stuff, make life better, right? Then there's strategy, invent, proven partner. Okay. So people, science, purpose, strategy, right? You put them together, conquer the world. I mean, right? And so we've been doing that a long time. And this battery technology was presented to us, and we looked at it and we said, "Oh my goodness, you talk about impacting the world. This is a big one." So in the portfolio, our medical technology, we've spent the last 10 years, we're just about to launch in a huge way. I mean, a huge way, bigger than people get their head around. Now, and I'll say it's taken us almost 2 years to get ready to launch. We got a big manufacturing partner, we got a couple strategic distribution branded partners, and all that's coming to a head to now launch in a significant way. Of course, the Pooph products breaking records. That's through our engineering, O&M, odor no more, environmental engineering, focus on odor. Pooph's breaking records, is paying the bills for the company. We've generated positive cash flow. We have almost no debt. We got money in the bank. I mean, we're in a great spot. Okay, energy is the youngest, and then the equipment group is focused on water. There's a lot going on, but I just want to remind everyone that it's that innovation machine with the invent, proven partner strategy, which means we do the hard work and we get it situated to make a deal, to make a partnership, to make a distribution deal so that it can scale in a magnificent way. And that is the business. That is what we do. Okay. And so batteries no different. And we're going to talk about how we do it with batteries. So we have a brand called Cellinity. Okay. And you said tell the story of the history. It's a great history. This battery was invented by a handful of just incredible people. had careers at the University of Tennessee, electrochemist, specialist in battery tech, and the lead inventor over 10 years ago got sick and he passed away pretty quick, like 45, 60 days, really quick. And at that time, they were early stage commercial. They had a little commercial success. And this battery was just about to be positioned for commercialization. And really, the company kind of blew up. And they'd spent 8 years in R&D, 8 years. Okay. So one of the co-inventors is the son, Mario. Mario actually came to us because of the relationships we have in Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Hey there, folks. I want to tell you about a new app that I am very excited about. If you want to up your investing game with Wall Street wisdom, stay informed, save time, and gain an edge, then you're going to want to check out this app, StockPick. You can discover pro tips from top investors and expert curated financial news, all in quick video short form clips. I've been using this app and I got to tell you, I love it. I am extremely impressed with the quality of the content. It keeps me informed, and I have to tell you, I've used all kinds of comparable services out there. This one is priced at 79 US. It is a steal of a deal. And right now, on top of that, you can get an additional 25% off. I'm telling you, folks, I think you're going to love this app. Go to the description of this video and find the link. Make sure you use my code to get that 25% off.
And said, hey, you should take a look at this. And we did. We kind of peeled that onion for almost a year and a half. We put a business deal together and we said, we're going to have to recreate what this dedicated team did for a career to invent something so special. And we were so intrigued by the data that we decided it was worth it to us for our infrastructure because of its potential for high impact and significant commercial opportunity. And so we essentially have validated and rebuilt the technology from that 8 years of prior work. And that took us a little over a year and about a year and a half, actually about 10 months longer than we thought it would. And so just recently we did a press release in which we said we have now rebuilt and validated the cell technology sufficiently for us to be very comfortable that the technical data that we present is real. Okay. And it's not that we didn't believe it was real before, we just couldn't prove it was real. Now we have the proof internally to know it's real. And then the next step, of course, is to prove it with third-party validation. And there's a scale-up effort, right? To get it ready for significant commercialization. It goes from a little cell about this big to a cell about that big. I'm going to show you a picture. So that's in process. So the next phase, and there's a marching order. We built a little factory. We put some money behind it. We brought a team in. We then surrounded them with our, team of engineers and scientists, rallied, replicated the cell, prove the basic claim, start the scale up, get the third party validation, and then go out and recruit partners. Invent, prove, and partner. Invent, prove, and partner. Well, now we're in the partnership stage, and that's pretty dramatic too. We'll talk about why that's so important. But anyway, we recognized when we started that there was a gap in the market, and the gap is the opportunity, right? The gap is the opportunity. There's a bunch of things that needed a gap. Okay. So the bottom line is there's a lot of lithium batteries in the world, and lithium has trouble with fire. Okay. I mean, why do they think when you go to TSA, they say, you got any lithium batteries in your briefcase? You got any lithium batteries in your golf bag? How about that suitcase you just checked they want to know, you know why? Because they catch fire. And so then if you Google or you go to an internet search and you say lithium fires, like, gosh, you're not going to believe it. And of course, there's more and more lithium. They just keep coming. And they're putting them in your garage for your EV charging station. It's like, are you kidding me? Be careful, right? And so we're even seeing some situations where cities are blocking the installation of lithium manufacturing. They don't want those factories in their town. Big fire are going to happen. We actually saw a company that's doing long duration energy storage, BESS, battery energy storage system, BESS, battery energy storage systems for shipping. You got a bank of lithium batteries in the hull of a ship? Okay, if that thing floods, man, run. I mean, it's just crazy, really. You look at it, and so what it shows is that they're willing to trade off the reward of having energy for the risk of potential fire. And it just shows you how much demand there is. That's really what it does. Anyway, we saw that and we said that there's got to be a better way. That's one. And then the second is there's this emerging field called long duration energy storage. And we have an article we're going to show you in The Economist. It's just fascinating. And the title is The Next Trillion Dollar Business. The Next Trillion Dollar Business, written by The Economist. And it's long duration energy storage because the demand for accessible energy as we migrate towards renewable energy is insatiable. It's so much increase in demand, you can't possibly fill the gap. And so again, renewable energy, that's usually wind or solar is the most common, but it's all kinds of energy. And you need energy on demand so that when it's cheap to produce, you store it. And then if you have peak demand and the supply of ebb and flow on the pull of the grid, you have this backup that can allow you to consistently provide the energy on demand to people that need it. Okay, meaning batteries are going to be everywhere. In California, they won't let you put a solar panel up unless you got a battery. You can't do solar panels without batteries. And so that trend is happening all over the world. Okay. The other thing is that this stuff about rare earth elements. I mean, geez, the geopolitical stuff with cobalt and nickel and mining and kids and geopolitical turmoil. Oh my goodness. And so we looked at that and said, it just doesn't have to be that way. There's some great technical things, technical resources and ingredients that can be a great source of storing energy. You just have to figure out the recipe that allows you to get high energy density and voltage and then duration. This idea that they're going to be able to be pulled on for a long time when necessary, and also that they last a long time, right? And so we're targeting 20-year batteries to give you perspective. Anyway,
Yeah. So I'm just looking at, just going through your list there. So you're right, rare earth metals, which, if you're not aware, China controls 90% of globally. So that's kind of a big issue, right?
yeah.
Your materials are very
Earth abundant. Earth abundant. With the way Earth abundant, the way we say it is everything in our battery can be sourced in a domestic market. So if you're going to build them in Europe, you can source them in Europe. You want to build them in America, you can source them in America. You can source them anywhere. These are salts everywhere. Salt, it's a hot salt battery, and it's not that hot. So we'll talk about the nomenclature for the description, but it has an ingredient: sodium, sulfur, and other chlorides. So it's not a sodium sulfur battery, although it has some sulfur in it. It's not a sodium ion because there's no ion exchange across the membrane. Okay, it's electron flow in a sealed battery that runs at a higher temp, so it's liquid sodium, right? And it has these chlorides in it that allow for a multitude of reactions to occur that generate in the spec of the industry a very high energy density. And I think I have that chart. Did I pass it? No. This is that article we were talking about. I mean, somewhere between 2 to 700 billion by 2030. What's the year? 2024? You're talking about 6 years. And then look, the article points out between 1 and 3 trillion by 2040. Long duration storage. Okay, we're going to be a player here because we have a technical solution that deserves the attention. Right now, let me show you that. There we go. When we looked at this, we took a look at the classes of batteries. So this is not specific to a competitor. It's more of the class. So who's doing lithium ion? Who's doing sodium ion? Who's doing molten calcium, lead acid, nickel cadmium? There's a bunch. And there's some good batteries out there. So we're not throwing stones at anybody. But here's what you learn is that each one of these is not perfect. It has its use case, it has some negatives or less than optimal. And then we stack it up with some of our claims and we say, I don't think there's a battery technology in the market that matches our claims. And we've scoured. And so here's the way I say it. Show me one. Please correct me. I haven't seen it. I've spent almost 3 years looking for it. And so this compelled us to invest and start to recreate this technology. And then we did this press release just about a week ago, which you're referring to. And we came to the market and said, we've sufficiently done this internally to feel comfortable with these claims. Now, even on the energy density, those are theoretical. Those are chemical formulas that have accessible electrochemical industry by virtue of the chemistry itself. And so we believe that we're 95% accessible. Okay, now just think about that. Lithium, you charge, they want to charge to 80% and discharge to 20. You can't even use 40% of the energy that's in the cell. If you do, you begin to stress the battery, you accentuate the ion exchange degradation and the formation of dendrites across the electrodes. Now, by the way, that's where everybody's working to improve. Nothing static, everybody's improving. But the point is that we don't even have the degradation internally by the transfer of electrons across the membrane. This electron exchange in a liquid environment. Now, our technology uses a ceramic piece of the puzzle. And so that has its own challenges. How do you scale to make 1 million cells in a battery factory, you know, like lickety split? That's where the art of this challenge is, to now take the cell and replicate manufacturing techniques that allow you to automate and scale to a very large scale, at which point you get economy of scale and you can take a market. And so we looked at that hard and we said, you know, we think that's doable with the right capital structure. And so we're gonna talk about that. But anyway, let me stop for a second. You got any questions? I mean, this is a lot of information right here.
It's a tremendous amount of information, but yeah. So one of the things, and I think you clarified this for me before we hopped on, is yeah, your battery runs hot, but there is no risk of a thermal runaway where you're
It's not explosive. Yeah, if it breaks, it just stops working. Now it would be hot, so you don't want to break it, you don't want to pop it open, but that's an insulation issue, right? So in our model of design, all the insulation is to hold it in. Okay, now think about that. In lithium, it's to let it out because you don't want it to get too hot, because if it gets hot, it blows up. Don't blow up. We don't have that issue. We want it hot and molten. And so we generally are working between 160 and 220 C Celsius. So that's pretty warm. All right. And again, I say that because it's not like there's no risk. There is some risk. It's hot, you know, it's gonna burn you. Okay. But it's not a flammable burn, it's just heat. And so you can manage heat. And by the way, our team has been managing heat in engineering. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff we do with heat transfer and heat use and reuse and regenerative thermal oxidation. You know, at one point, Randy, one of our lead engineers, his team was the technical team that built one of the largest incineration operations for dioxin in North America. You know, I mean, you're talking about extreme heat. So we know heat, okay? We know insulation, we know chemistry, we know how to scale manufacturing. We have this talent that's embedded in our company that allows us to look at this and say, there's a better way. There's a better way. And so in each of our businesses, that theme you're going to hear over and over. We look at it and we say, there's a gap, there's a better way. There's a gap, there's a better way. And if we can figure out how to fill that gap and do the work to prove that we can do so, then we have a cornerstone of innovation that can build a significant business. And that's exactly what we've got here. And that's why we're so excited. I mean, we're really excited. And then we put a strategy behind it. So let me see. So there you go. There's one of our cells, right? That's a Cellinity cell. That's one of the early iterations. And then I think I got a picture here. Yeah, 8 years of R&D. We built a little pilot facility. I'll show you a picture in a second. Now we're doing the Spartan cell. Okay, Spartan cell. A team of 300 Spartan cells. Okay. Yeah.
I
And
love it, man.
we have a bunch of, I know we have a bunch of partnerships in development. We'll talk briefly about it. And bottom line is it's safer and longer lasting and it's efficient. And then we got a partner centric capital conserving strategy. We had a little event with some dignitaries. We have two partners in the works. Our Norway team. We have a team cooking a deal in Norway. We got like 13 of them. They're not done. We'll make sure everybody gets that. They're not done. We're working on them. And the thesis in that is to find the right partners who want to bring capital resources and toolkit to build a battery factory that features our technology, in which we become a vendor, a supplier, engineer, procure, and construct partner, and a participant in the revenue streams that are created. And I'll show you that business model. Anyway, these two engineers down at the bottom with their daughters, they're awesome. Those are some of the lead engineers that are constructing these batteries. And we did a little ribbon cutting. Notice it's orange for Go Vols, a bunch of Tennessee boys. And we showed this battery. Now look how big it is. That's a 3.5 by 13. It's a very unusual design. It's a very unusual design. It presents economics and scale for manufacturing and ease of manufacturing that are very compelling. In fact, making a cell that's about this big, we call that a double D. That would be this one back here. I'll just show you a picture. That's a double D, so that's a cell about that big. And then scaling up 10x to that size, we can make it for almost the same amount of money. Okay, but that battery has 10 times the energy density. It has a lot of power coming out of it, and it's pretty amazing. So what you do with those cells is you put them in racks. You put them in a rack. Racks go in packs, and packs make batteries, battery energy storage batteries. Okay. Now our business strategy is a capital conserving. Okay. So we've run all these modeling. Again, our team has been building things and big construction and big development for a long time, careers. And we modeled this out. And we said, we think a factory for about 100 million, well, it's a $40 million working capital. So it's 140 million can generate 500 million a year in top line revenue and should generate about a 16 to 17% net income. Did you hear those numbers?
Hey there, folks. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the interview with Dennis Calvert from Biolargo. There are 3 more episodes coming, so keep a lookout. If you enjoyed the first portion of this video, do us a favor, give us a like. How about giving us a share? And while you're at it, make sure you smash that subscribe button. All of those things are extremely important to us here at Alpha Wolf Capital, and we appreciate you taking the time to do that. Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Capital wishes you the very best of success.